Yeah, so the first memory that I ever have of sarang is when I was passing out from Air Force Academy in Dundigal. At my passing out parade, I saw the sarangs doing their air show, and I was highly impressed by the kind of maneuvers that they were doing. So that feeling was always there in my heart that someday I would want to be part of such a prestigious team. And initially, I flew the Mi-17 V5 medium lift helicopters. After 9 years of service, when I had reached a certain seniority, I had gained the required qualifications for becoming a sarang pilot. I applied, and to my good fortune, my skills and the team's instinct both matched, and now I'm a part of the team. So currently, I'm flying as co-pilot for number 1. Hopefully, soon to be a captain. Let's see.
Okay, let's talk about the challenges. When we see from below the kind of acrobatic maneuvers,
Yeah.
how challenging are those, or is it like it's really exciting and everything? Tell us about those things. What kind of challenge you face during those maneuvers, and how you train yourself for those maneuvers.
So the challenge is that if you have seen the profile, more or less we have to perform the exact same profile at every venue that we go to. However, each venue is unique in terms of the terrain, in terms of the venue, in terms of obstructions, in terms of the winds, the weather there. So the challenge is to keep the consistency and to perform the exact same maneuvers with the exact same proficiency and consistency every time at every venue. So for that, the team does a lot of hard work. Every maneuver is worked out on ground, requiring a lot of mathematics and physics, let's say. We work them out on graphs, we do a extended debrief, we do a lot of practice sorties for those things, and we study the whole area very thoroughly through every possible source, be it Google Earth images or the images that the organizers provide to us. So there's a very exhaustive exercise which is involved in planning these maneuvers and maintaining that consistency at every venue. So that is how I think the thorough planning of the team is how we achieve it.
Okay, so your team is going to perform in NDA POP.
Yeah.
What's your feeling about that?
I think it is one of the most beautiful places to fly at, and NDA is one of the oldest institutions, military institutions in the country. So it's a lot of prestige. And when I was in 12th, I remember I wanted to be an ex-NDA. However, that time it was not, the option was not open for girls. Now I'm so happy to hear that fortunately girls are also part of NDA now. But for me to fly over that institution, which I always held in a very high regard, that in itself is a very proud feeling. And I think that adds to the excess josh that all the pilots have while they're flying in the cockpit. So flying at a civil venue, the josh is about motivating the audience. However, flying over NDA, you're flying over a place which is the essence of what we stand for, the alma mater of military excellence. So NDA gives you a different feeling altogether. I'm very happy to tell you, like one of the reporters mentioned to us some time back, that he had interviewed one sarang woman pilot quite a few years back. I'm so proud to tell you now that there are 6 of us who are part of the team. There is one engineering officer, there is one commentator, and there are 4 women pilots in the team. So the composition is very even now. We make 30 to 40% of the team. So I would like to say that there is no challenge at all. The more the merrier. As in, the more women that join armed forces, I think they will experience that life is very, very normal, and it's a very exciting experience to be in Forge altogether.